Good evening, family and friends. My name is Sam Atlas, Student Body President, and it is with great honor that I welcome you to the commencement ceremonies for the class of 2017. Today marks the completion of your students, family members, or friends' journey through high school. On behalf of the student body, I thank you all for your gracious support along the way and welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Mountain Vista High School's class of 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the faculty of Mountain Vista High School. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and welcome the class of 2017, led by our junior escorts. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, sung by the Mountain Vista Senior Choir under the direction of Mr. Jerry Vanderdoes. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Please be seated. Thank you for joining us in this celebration. We would like to begin by recognizing some very important guests. Parents of our graduates, please stand and be recognized. Grandparents of our graduates, please stand and be recognized. It is my honor to present our class salutatorians, Jack Nelson and Ann Newman, to the podium with further guest introductions.
I would like to introduce you to the guests seated on the stage. From the Douglas County Board of Education, Miss Megan Silverthorne and Miss Wendy Vogel. From the Central Administration of Douglas County Schools, Miss Erin Kane, Interim Superintendent, Mr. Ted Knight, Assistant Superintendent of School Leadership, Mr. Ian Wells, Executive Director of Schools, and Miss Nancy Ingalls, Personalized Learning Officer. From the schools in the Mountain Vista feeder area, Miss Shannon Clark, Principal, Mountain Ridge Middle School, Miss Kelly Ursetta, Principal, Bear Canyon Elementary, Mr. Steve Getchell, Principal, Copper Mesa Elementary, Miss Elisa Tolson, Principal, Heritage Elementary School, Miss Katie Lynch, Principal, Northridge Elementary School, Mr. Philip Ranford, Principal, Sand Creek Elementary, and Miss Caitlin Fox, Assistant Principal, Summit View Elementary School.
And from Mountain Vista High School, I am pleased to introduce our principal, Mr. Michael Weaver. And our assistant principals, Mr. Rob Segley, Mr. Alan Long, Mr. Rob Peterson, and Mr. Sean Terry. Our administrative deans, Mr. Blaine Haskell, and Ms. Heidi Schuster-Beckman. our graduation readers, Miss Jody Lanterna Lewis, Mr. Patrick McGuire, Miss Cassie Myers, and Mr. Charles Tingstrom. And our honored seniors, Leah Dominski, Dessa Payich, and Alec Yagi, our class valedictorian.
And now, please welcome honored senior Dessa Payich.
Congratulations, class of 2017. We made it. It sounds cliche, but it's true. We've made it through nail-biting football and basketball games where some of the best memories were made. We've made it through theater and musical performances that wowed us with their talents. We have made it through endless nights with friends where some of the biggest laughs were shared. We have made it through the painfully long advisement class that we went to once a semester. Sorry, Mr. Fisher. And we have made it through tragedy, but we have never soared higher. For the longest time, I had the common case of senioritis, where my 3 classes a day were just 3 too many classes a day. So I wished them away, and now here we are, May 17th, 2017, about to take our final steps as Mountain Vista High School students. I wish now more than ever we had just one more year with each other. One more year to dress up pretty for prom and homecoming. One more year to raise money for Wish Week for a cause greater than ourselves, because those are the memories we will carry with us forever. To admin, thank you on behalf of the seniors for looking out for us. Hang on, just give it a second. How about that ride up, huh? We may not have liked it at times, but you've always had our best interest in mind, and that's not something a lot of students can confidently say. To the teachers, thank you for being a home outside of home. You taught us literary techniques, derivatives, and the laws of supply and demand, but more than that, you taught us to choose kindness and to choose respect, and provided us with a space where we could grow into the best versions of ourselves. Your hard work and your dedication to us students has not gone unnoticed. We just weren't about to show teachers we saw you as actual human beings. Still, you have truly prepared us for what is ahead in indescribable ways. And for that, we will always be thankful, because now we have the future ahead of us. The future is ours, the class of 2017s, and it's coming up faster than ever. And for it, I have 2 pieces of advice. The first, decisions have consequences, and consequences have ripples. Decide for yourself. What you choose can have an amazing outcome, and then it will ripple. It will affect those around you on a larger scale than you could even imagine. Choose what will be best for you. I have never seen a person so happy and so in their element than when they are doing what they love. Do what you love, and the rest will fall into place. You do not need to know what is next for you right this second, because the truth is, the best things take time, and we are ready to achieve the unachievable, no matter how long it takes. My second piece of advice, to choose respect. Respect has amazing benefits. Respect your professor, and you might get tips on that paper. Respect your boss, and you might get that promotion. Respect your friends, and you'll create a lifelong relationship. Respect your parents, and you might get to come home after college. But the most rewarding thing about respect is that once you respect yourself and those around you, I can confidently say life itself will be easier. I could not be more proud to be a part of Mountain Vista's graduating class of 2017. We're going to make a difference in the world. So while we only have the rest of our lives ahead of us, don't let time drown out the memories of high school. Remember the teacher that made a difference in your life. Remember the friend that was there for you in a hard time. Remember the advice someone special gave to you. And I challenge you to be that for someone else in the world. And if you decide to take up that challenge, I promise you it will make a ripple effect, and it will help more people than you could even imagine. And then remember that it all started because of you. Thank you.
And now, please welcome honored senior and our class valedictorian, Alec Yagi.
Congratulations, Mountain Vista High School class of 2017. We have done it. Today, I am simply Alec, a member of our graduating class. At first, I welcomed the idea of placing myself in front of such a collection of individuals that have had a large part in shaping the person I've become. But I turned to questioning, what entitles me to stand here before you today? The short answer is nothing. How can one student, regardless of identity, even attempt to represent all? How can I begin to understand and speak to your trials and tribulations, your struggles and successes? I don't even know who I am, let alone who you are. Why does the concept exist that this individual who receives this 13-letter-long title, a supposed pinnacle of achievement, is the one most qualified and able? I could not tell you. One thing that I can say, though, with unwavering voice and confidence is that we as students are judged by numbers. And these numbers come from letters, particularly the first 5, the simple solutions to high school's essential guessing game. As Albert Einstein once said, if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is stupid. A man, believe it or not, thought by many to be rather smart, but when was the last time you heard Einstein's high school GPA? These so-called essential numbers have such a fantastic way of disappearing once we leave our familiar halls. Yet they're held up as everything. They're the only thing. Think of the hours lost to an alphabet soup of CSAPs, TCAPs, PARCs, CMASs, SATs, and PSATs, justified by the state's supposed need to measure a 3-dimensional human being with a 1-dimensional yardstick. It seems a little excessive, doesn't it? And it's not just that. These numbers become funding. These numbers are school ranks. These numbers are pay cuts and pay raises. In high school, we as students are bred to accept nothing less than 1600s and 36s, fostering unnecessary competition and killing all chance of collaboration. We fail to achieve great things together because the system falls short of allowing us to do just that. Instead, it infuses within us a desire to be good at tests rather than good at life. And when it's time to embark on the crazy carousel of the college search process, we send across the nation our numbers and essays written minutes before midnight to be judged, picked apart, and lost among thousands of others. And when the hallowed institutions of lore around the world respond with resounding no's to the high ACTs and straight A GPAs, we have no choice but to accept the shrouded fact that the numbers are not everything we have been told. I'm beginning to believe these numbers have reached an expiration date, and that date seems to be today. You are not a number. I will say it louder for those who are in the back. You are not a number. The time for letting numbers determine who you are and what you are capable of is over. You should now feel free to go out there and prove it. We all leave this high school experience with the exact same piece of paper, no indication of GPA, no special distinction. So let us all be proactive in forgetting GPAs and ACTs many already have, and instead selectively choose to remember only the times we have shared, memories and moments that guided us like beacons in the darkness to this very point. Remember faces and smiles, tears and laughter, not numbers, because today, none of that matters, and rightfully so. We are all Mountain Vista graduates, and we are all equal. There is no invisible hand which selects some for success and fortune while condemning others to failure, for life is the greatest equalizer, and we ourselves hold the sole responsibility for our destiny. While you cannot alter the past, you can shape and mold the future. In this pursuit, though, don't ever assume your own success is guaranteed. The world owes you nothing. And for that matter, don't assume your own failure. You set your own limits. Mountain Vista class of 2017, whether you set out to change the world or to change the lives of a select few, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the very best. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce the Mountain Vista Senior Choir, who will sing On My Way by Phil Collins under the direction of Mr. Jerry Vanderdoes. And now, please welcome honored senior Leah Dominski.
All right. So, Mr. Weaver here has not always been top dog at Vista, but was actually my elementary school principal. I was only his student for 1 year before moving on to the broader pastures known as Mountain Ridge Middle School. But when I saw him again 2 years later, on that first day of freshman year, he looked me straight in the eye and without hesitation said, "Leah, how have you been?" And I was so dumbfounded, I nearly dropped the ice cream sandwich a Link crew leader had given me just moments before, which would have been a small tragedy. However, near tragedy turned to awestruck admiration after that first interaction with Mr. Weaver. It left such a strong impression that set the precedent for my 4 years at Vista, and it was because of this warm welcome that I knew Vista was indeed where I was meant to spend my high school career. From that moment on, I was overwhelmed by the Eagle spirit. And no, I'm not saying that figuratively. I was nearly pummeled during my first Do It cheer at Vista, just like we're being pummeled by this wind, and had to hold on to the back of an unwitting senior for dear life. So if my unsung hero is out there somewhere, I might not be standing here today if it wasn't for you. That aside, my brief brush with terror taught me two things. One, do not wear a backpack during a do-it. It is the epitome of attempting to swim against the current. Awkward, uncomfortable, and entirely fruitless. Not to mention, your backpack probably weighs about 30% of your body weight, considering you still don't know how to open a locker. And two, whether they're aware of it or not, your fellow Eagles are always there to help you. Whether it's my peers, my teachers, coaches, or the administration, I have always felt wholeheartedly supported by the entire Vista community. With every rejection, acceptance, wild success, failure, and crying episode in my guidance counselor's office, my support system here has never failed to be there before, during, and after. Without these defining moments and relationships, I have no idea what my future would look like. But now I'm not just stepping, but full out sprinting into it. In our 4 years at Vista, we have witnessed jubilant celebration and accomplishment, as well as moments of great fear and sorrow. Whether it's the loss of a coach, a threat to our safety, or fulfilling the dreams of countless wish kids, I have witnessed unparalleled and incredible levels of passion and kindness in my peers, and feel very fortunate to have been a part of our accomplishments. I am genuinely thankful to have grown up in an environment where my peers and teachers are more than just educational partners, but people who you can spend an entire class period arguing about the hierarchy of Harry Potter books with, which, by the way, the fourth book is the best, and people to engage in handstand contests with, and people who never forget your name. In every way, Vista is so much more than I ever expected. As far as Mr. Weaver's insane affinity for names is concerned, my counterparts and I have theorized for years and developed several hypotheses, such as obsessively studying binders he stores under his bed, or maybe getting an informational chip implanted in his brain. However, we have only come to one sound conclusion. Just like everyone else at Vista, Mr. Weaver is just a really good guy, and I can't... And I can't thank him and the rest of the Mountain Vista community enough for making these awkward, slightly prepubescent years golden. In a few months, the class of 2017 will be freshmen once again. However, this time, we won't have our friends, our principal, or our ice cream sandwich to help us navigate the entire world that exists outside of our little high school up on the hill. So I guess we have to take a page from Mr. Weaver's book and spread a little bit of the Eagle spirit with us wherever we go.
And now, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage our principal, Mr. Michael Weaver.
I know my least favorite weather feature. I appreciate our feeder principals more than ever before. And please know the things flying out are not actually diplomas. They're fake pieces of paper in there for now, so nothing to worry about. Thank you. I would like to personally welcome everyone to the 2017 Mountain Vista Commencement Ceremony. We appreciate you being with us on an incredible evening nonetheless, and truly one of the most magnificent settings in the world. As always, thanks to Mr. DeLop and Mr. Vanderdoes, our musicians, and all our student presenters. What an outstanding job. Thank you. Ironically, when I began preparing for my address each year, I try to establish a theme, and I generally start with a review of some basic statistical data. You will see eventually that Alec and I are on the same page, so hang with me. But I've been guilty of thinking that the numbers do seem to tell a particular story of a particular class. This year, as my numerical list grew, I decided that maybe the numbers could be at least a part of the story. Here are a few examples that initially caught my eye. 24.1, the highest composite ACT class score ever. $296,000 raised over 4 years and granting 43 kids life-changing wishes. 88% of this class attending 120 of the finest colleges and universities in the country. 5 of our students accepting military academy appointments. 242 members of the class of 17 earned academic honor cords, and 111 of those had a weighted GPA of over 4.0. I'm sorry, but it might actually be a little bit amusing watching Carly try to explain to colleges why her 3.978 GPA had her ranked 112th in her class. Sorry, Cece. Over the years, I have received 327 text-to-tips about Saturday night parties in the neighborhood. 2, the number of houses actually associated with the 327 text-to-tips about parties in the neighborhood. You know who you are. The neighbors know who you are. In 4 years, we have seen 30 amazing theatrical productions, more than 100 concerts and performances, 8 or more state championships, 9 state runners-up, 11 Final Four finishes, and a 28-win and only 10-loss record in head-to-head competition against a nearby rival whose mascot rhymes with Risley's. And incredibly, $16,183,000 worth of scholarships earned to date. With all that in mind, I began to consider the massive amount of involvement and investment that allowed this class to reach these levels. At various points in time, every one of the inclusive 480 kids of this class played a role in the success of the group. So my message to you guys tonight is about the number. It's about that number. Imagine the power of this group if 480 unique individuals took a common message of unity, compassion, positivity, generosity, thoughtfulness, empathy, humility, and purpose out to the colleges and universities and academies and workplaces around our country and our world. What if the collected group of 480 talented young people here tonight practiced selflessness, listened more than Snapchatted, sought perspective, called their grandparents every week, courtesy waved while driving, learned with an open mind, and as they've done for the past 4 years, contributed to the greater good? Considering the possibilities, I took to Google and I found an interesting study. Keep in mind, the sources cited here had a lot of variables, like whether you end up living in New York City or Beaufort, Wyoming. But here are the basics. From age 5, cognitive level of remembering, until age 79, an average life expectancy, an individual living in a city like Denver will interact in one way or another with up to 3 new people every day. When you do the math, you can assume that each of our graduates tonight will interact with up to 80,000 different people in their lifetimes. Variables or not, that's a lot of people. When you multiply that by 480, you're looking at this group here tonight having some sort of collective contact with over 35 million people in their lifetimes. You think your attitude or your approach can make a difference? What an opportunity. In keeping with the tradition of previous graduating classes at Mountain Vista, the class of 2017 will certainly have a chance to make a difference in a world in desperate need of positive difference makers. In August of 2013, you all walked through the doors and set on a 4-year journey together with us with unique dreams and interests and abilities. And today you will leave here together as the 2017 Mountain Vista Golden Eagle graduating class. We absolutely appreciate you letting us be a part of this, and thank you very much. Congratulations. I think that Alec and I worked it out, so. You get to go to that side? Ms. Kane, it is with great pride and joy that I present to you the Mountain Vista High School class of 2017. I hereby attest and affirm that the students seated before you have successfully completed the requirements set forth by the Douglas County Board of Education and that this should therefore be recognized with the presentation of a high school diploma. Mrs. Kane, the Mountain Vista class of 2017.
Mr. Weaver, it is my honor and privilege to accept these students as graduates of Mountain Vista and Douglas County School District. Congratulations.
At this time, I would like to invite our stage guests to take their positions. Join us in presenting diplomas. If our first class could head down, please. Junior escorts, please take your places and prepare to lead your advisement classes to the stage for presentation of diplomas.
Samuel Jason Atlas. Ashley Nova Brown. Aislinn Eve Concha. Madison Jean Decker. Nolan Alexander Gao. Harrison Edward Gerber. Evan William Hirsch. Michael Adam Houlihan. Benjamin Allen Lazarus. Kylie Ray Ludwig. Jordan William Choi Medician. Kira Rose Martz. Quentin Michael Passell. Quentin Patrick Roby. Dorothy Abigail Severance. Madison Rose Urbana. Ryan Buhun Willie.
The advisement class of Mr. Max Ames. Mia Elizabeth Bonifazi. Windsor Kincaid Broadhurst. Alexandra Rose Cope. Janet Doan. Abigail Leah Fish. Emily Maria Gould. Dylan Robert Hotham. Emily Layla Jensen. Katie Lynn Joella. Gabriel Alexander Jones. Justin Young Lim. Colin Patrick McCullough. Jackson Michael McKesson. Sydney Elizabeth Murphy. Michael David O'Connor. Sarah Jane Prokosh. Blake Allen Rudin. Evan Michael Stone.
Emily Ann Abbott.
Megan Ashley Bernini. Emily Hope Caldwell. Nicholas Charles Cross. Sydney Virginia Dutil. Kobe Ryan Frasco. Cameron Michael Kilgore. Sarah Lauren Mestas. Ariana Maria Nijelak. Carly Shay Paul. Alan John Reynolds. Justin Kwamina Saki. Olivia Ann Thonis. Garrett Lee Walker. Elizabeth Irene Zorn.
And now the advisement class of Katie Byers. Ethan Michael Adams. Grant Alden Blackwell. Justin Chang. Carly Ann Curran. Jerome Hancock Edwards. Aspen Nicole Frisch. Austin Linnell Harris. Donald Christopher Holloway. Matthew Edward Ingebrigtsen. Alexandra Jane Knott. Cullen Tyler MacArthur. Lauren Nicole Ann Miller. William Patrick O'Brien. Chase Cameron Pfluger. Cassandra Arlene Reed. Deidre Ann Thornton.
Emily Grace Adrid. Lindsay Jane Chaplin. Jasmine Marie Edwards. Carlos Antonio Gonzalez. Jackson Tyler Ingram. Kevin Wayne Kontashek. Madison Jewel Miller. Maria Andriva Nanova. Samuel Dodds Ochu. Alec Lane Farrow. Morgan Michelle Reed. Emily Marie Snell. Hunter Sean Tonner. Noor Zahir Mufid Toucan. Preston Charles Weaver. Alexandria Lane Weingart. Alec James Yagi.
The advisement class for Mr. Rick Cash. Matthew Robert Ages. Colton Charles Blatchford. Megan Jewel Bow. Simone Siddiqui Chung. Kenlyn Marie Dera. Shelby Jade Eggers. Caitlin Elizabeth Gaddis. Weston Blaisdell Hart. Caitlin Rose Ivy. McKenna Ray Conrad. Cameron Paul Mahoney. Megan Natalia Miller. William Bradley Oren. Jacob Evans Reese. McKenna Ray Samuelson. Zane Malik Devon Scott. Riker Ray Weaver.
Kelsey Ann Ahern. Taylor Lee Courts. Connor Elias Davis. Gabriella Angelica Gaetano. Alec Bryant Hatfield. Hattie Maria Mainridge. Morgan Lee Miller. Caitlin Ann Orr. Subin Park. Christopher Ryan Riker. Christopher James Shower. Lauren Claire Soares. Sedona Aline Steele. Alexander Christian Stem. Colby William Volrath.
And now the advisement of Shayna Cole, Jordan Matthew Akins, Amelia Isabel Amacarella, Victoria Suzanne Bowman, Tristan Michael Dean, Elizabeth Grace Foster, Haley Quinn Galligan, McKenna Renee Hammerly, Anthony Jerome Jacobellis, Thomas Wayne Johnson, Ryan Edward Lane, Valeria Lopez, Alyssa Jacqueline Oswald, Ashley Elizabeth Rivas, Sydney Valentine Sadonis, Agatha Gabriela Sosa, McKenna Marie Truxell,
Caden David Anderson, Skylar Virginia Clements, Emma Kate DeAngelis, Brooke Hennessy, Agatha Diane Jacobson, Michael Jacob Manwaring, Chandler Don Moberly, Kendrick Alexander Norris, Liam Hayden Oswald, Logan Dean Poindexter, Ezra Isaac Rivera, Kenza Zara Schreiber, Tyler Christian Spence, Samuel Alexander Strauss, Soham Mandar Tomhain, Mark Issa Twall,
The advisement class of Patty Edwards, Benjamin Donald Antonsen, Jacob John Bennett, Joshua David Bryant, Justin Eugene Cochran. Madeline Elizabeth Deering. Kira Ann Dietrich. Christian Judd Erickson. Keegan Bradley Gay. Jonah Raymond Haynes. Olivia Grace Lau. Christopher Walker Lovejoy. Casey Gale Marinson. Jamie Alexis McAllister. Jordan Narissa Moylanen. Bryant James Morby. Karen Renee Schwarzkopf. Cody David Sparrow. Ollie Francis White.
Mayan Anna Bronstein. Abigail Ketsia Finston. Jacob Thomas Frayne. Rachel Nicole Fuller. Morgan Michaela Geist. Heather Bryn Hewitt. Maxwell Andrew Laveau. Brooke Taylor Pyburn Miller. Katiana Louise Porter. Ava Ingrid Posley.
Dylan James Schwendeman.
Tamara Ann Sorg. Marina Cecile Statkevicius. Christian Lee Stenberg. Shelby Lee Unruh. Benjamin Joseph Vandenbark. Evan Charles Wilkinson. Nathan Allen Wilson.
And now the advisement of Jason Fisher. Davis Cooper Auth. Elizabeth Jane Braun. Marissa Nicole Browning. Jared Joseph Lon Cannell. Leah Rose Dominski. Kyla Nicole Dezell. Daniel Patrick Fairbanks. Joel Alton Gibb. Brett Kelly Hollingshead. Zachary Ryan Lazarus. Damian James McCullough.
Dessa Payich.
Jonah Davis Penny. Nikita Pleskin. Cassandra Shannon Potvin. Hunter Thomas Punshan. Jackson Edward Trust. Brandon Huang Kong Van. Eliana Marie Wilkins. Katie Elise Williard.
Phoebe Hope Arowesti. Kelly Lynn Bale. Abigail Irene Broke. Kylie Ann Conway. Simone Elizabeth Delano. Peyton Charles Elliott. Emily Elizabeth Evans. Jonna James Ginn. Melia Rose Gatto. Dawson James Hay. Riley T. Levitt. Keegan Alexander Mullins. Cannon Lyman Palmer. Cole Michael Reichert. Adele Marie Shaw.
The advisement class for Doug Green. Ellie Zeta Abraham. Jackson David Bertosh. Miguel Angel Casillas. Madison Mikkel Easton. Jordan Robert Friel. Jacob Jason Hansen. Kayla Lee Ibarra. Brianna Caitlin Luke. Sean Philip Peralta. Nicholas Charles Rank. Michael Timothy Rodarte. Jalen Isaiah Size. Olivia Grace Smith. Brady Nicholas Thomas. Abigail Elise Walls.
Stephen Lewis Benavides. Owen Maxwell Carlson. Jake Ryan Kosman. Evan Suzanne Forrest. Quinn Marie Garner. Diedrich Connell Gherkin. Zachary Joel Hammer. Miles Anthony Hughes. Shelby Lynn Kelly. Chase Hunter Newland. Keegan Thomas Peisert. Brianna Catherine Pulling. Bryce Paul Rainwater. Rebecca Rain Ramirez. Kirsten Ann Rumbold. Connor Quinlan Rutt. Taylor Rose Turner. Dakota Perry Webster.
And now the advisement of Mr. John Heddick. Michael Renee Berger. Brianna Lexus Cook. Tyler James Devlin. Ian Matthew Ferguson. Warren Hamilton Jenigan III. Caitlin Amy Johnson. James Philip Lecomte. Tanner James May. Madeline Grace Munger. Lakshitha. Lakshitha Nagesh. Charles Lambros Painter. Palmer. Sasha Corin Pepper. Michaela Rose Powell. Cole Evan Prinz. Monica Anna Danielle Shelton. Braden Robert Stewart. Emma Jane Vanderbark. Ileana Piper Winfrey.
Avery Claire Adams. Maria Wenley Caskey. Gabrielle Eleonora Edwards. Emma Katharina Friesen. Michael Christian Hargett. Kesa Lee Ibarra. Hendrick William Knoll. Tucker William Robert Lynn. Dylan Patrick Matsky. Antoinette Elizabeth Miller. Catherine Rose Pfeiffer. Noah Curtis Rawls. Frank Henry Ruppel. Haley Christina Hark Salmi. Tatiana Maria Smith. Marcus Paul Valela. Gabriel Rise Ibarra Jr.
Advisement of Mr. Cole Jensen. Ariana Marie Archambault. Ethan Jacob Carroll. Alexander Ryan Clothier. Alyssa Nicole Epstein. Adriana Theodoria Gabriel Hanks. Jonah Paul Herrera. Matthew William Larson. Adam Richard Lenz. Braden Jean Mogg. Chase Edward Pacheco. Savannah Joe Padilla. Allie Jane Popowski. Michael Anthony Rizzo. Haley Brienne Schubert. Madison Joy Spillman. Emma Louise Townsend. Matthew Daniel Welch Uller.
Isabella Inetta Workman.
Matthew Stephen Barrett. Samuel Masaru Bundrant. Daniel Brian Cook. Nate Sullivan Ferguson. Rachel Kayleen Goldstein. Riley Gilbert McDowell Gribbins. Kirsten Rose Johnson. Vito Lorenzo Lela. Miranda Gail Loftus. Caitlin Joe Palumbo. Joshua Christopher Romine. Ariana Nicole Sigurdson. Caden Tyler Stewart. Claire Marie Vandestow. Jillian Christine Velarde. Andrea Rose Wirtz.
And now the advisement class of Penny Jones. Jeremy Andrew Barker. Sophia Ann Bunton. Eric Matthew Cook. Naylan Richard Deason Gremmel. Juliet Rose Fife. Alexander Allen Gonzalez. Alexis Mariah Hooton. Peter Matthew Johnson. Daniel Frumer Levin. Jackson Harris McCombs. Alyssa Renee Paradis. Stacy Maria Privado. Peter Andre Robert Rousseau. Rod Daniel Stewart Jr. Anna Michelle Van Leeuwen. Madison Renee Wisniewski.
Riley William Berry. Sigourney Allison Birch. Tabitha Brianne Deal. Olivia Noel Fife. Hunter Douglas Hostelli. Isabel Jean Lewis. Abigail Marie McCready. Peter Park. Kayla Mackenzie Ruddock. Ava Pearl Shipley. Shaylin Rowena Stolz. Jordan Marie Ullery. Cody Jacob Van Note. Jensen Marie Womack.
Advisement for Nicole Kowalski. Benjamin Von Cope. Ashlyn Grace Dixon. Peyton Rose Graham. Gabriel Tucker Huhulis. John Arlen Young McDougall. Colin Tappan Monroe. Ryan Michael Murphy. Brianne Victoria Murray. Sarah Ann North. Kellen Sean Parker. Alejandro Antonio Puente. Kendall Elizabeth Runo. Alexa Jacqueline Smith. Nolan James Strichko. Patrick Robert Veman.
Emily Claire Albee. Mallory Lynn Alexander. Emma Josephine Axling. Jordan Leanne Bradshaw. Jihoon Chung. Carl Sean Danick. Jack William Davis. Annie Rose L. Cooper Sean Gale. Isabel Marie Highland. Tillman Elias Hinderling. Matthew Marcus Jackson. John Edward Chrissa. Tilda Sophia Lundman. Rafael Said Maldonado Martinez. Patrick Amos Mallon. Sydney Peyton Mercedic. Felicia Hulda Gundel Morfelt Gustafson. Lasse Uppergard. Madeline Taylor Orser. Brooke Alexandra Pershella. Taylor Ann Schley. Akshira Raven Weiser. Alexander Yuryevich Zuzulia.
The advisement class of Michelle Manish. Mark Timothy Boudreau. Eiley Catherine Dubrowski. Isaac Inekpan Essien. Maureen Jenny Fitzsimmons. Megan Elizabeth Howard. Allison Janine Negrete. Anne Michelle Newman. Jordan Anthony Paterno. Gannon Harris Ruschel. Bryce Allen Smith. Cooper Jameson Smith. Gabriela Alexis Tagliano. Haley Elizabeth Thorne. Madison Haley Woog.
Bailey Marie Beebe. Matthew Thomas Dodmead. Mason Chadwick Foles. Angela Noemi Gutierrez. Abigail Lee Hauk. Chad Dylan Long. Vincent Vuong Tai Mac. Olivia Ann McKenzie. Parker Lewis Paterno. Saher Preet Puri. Haley Ann Russell.
Last one.
Emily Alberta Smith. Liza Myra Vinn.
I'm going fast.
Nicholas Reed Young.
Advisement for Jake Sabat. Jacob Edward Belknap. Sydney Christelle Cordova. Alexander Curtis Donor. Aislinn Elizabeth Forrest. Kayla Marie Hackett. Abigail Renee Huff. Kyla Rose Kennedy. Grace Anna Marie Linderman. Lauren Elizabeth McLaughlin. John Robert Nelson. Evie Lane Patterson. Kaylee Sheridan Phelan. Evan Stewart Place. Christopher Bradley Rapp. David Ellis Robinson. Justin James Russell. Trenton Matthew Schultz. Emma Catherine Smith. Grace Olivia Tanner. David Heejun Yu.
Claire Marie Beckman. Caitlin Marie Benton. Andres Antonio Cano. Graham Fries Carroll. Hannah Michelle Gordon. Laura Michelle Hammond. Sophia Catherine Kurzik. Boston Mitchell Lucero. Joey Andrew McLaren. Sadak Preet Puri. Karina Jade Ramsey. Emily Aaron Ribitsky. JC Alexandra Smith. Peyton Lee Theobald. Joseph Michael Wagner. Graham Stephen Zephyrin.
And the class of Kerry Trimble. Kelly Louise Bergstrom. Shane Ryan Crady. Kelly Louise Bergstrom. Shane Ryan Crady. Max Samuel Dunovitz. Margaret Amanda Fox. Jared Thomas Gasson. Drew McLaren Kessel. Tyler Allen Merchant. Brandon Tyler Moore. Morgan Real Nichols. Catherine Elizabeth Pepper. Cole Harrison Pomeroy. Alexis Danielle Minicus Randall. Emily Ann Roberts. Austin Ryan Sack. Keely Shea Smith. Cade Christian Walker. Casey Jai Zhang.
Connor John Burkett. Celis Greer Copeland. Rebecca Joy Gross. Kendall Ann Hovater. Grace Elizabeth Humphreys. Cameron John Kroonenberg. Delaney Christine Livingston. Jake Masterson. Paige Amanda McGuire. Jessica Kathleen Natz. Grant Nelson Smith. Matthew Allen Schmid. Blake Thomas Wechter. Bradley Thomas Zakreski.
Seniors that are left, please stand. Seniors, please move your tassels from right to left, signifying your completion of high school.
I didn't even do it. Where's my tassel?
Class of 2017 and honored guests, this concludes our commencement exercises. I know. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2017. And one last time, please join me in the singing of our school song.
Ba 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 ba. Hail to the mighty golden eagles, we'll soar above the rest. Hail to the mighty golden eagles, we'll fight to be the best. Hail to the mighty